The best in Africa, you cannot miss it.
Are you
Yes.
sure?
Oh, yes. I can bet on that. You cannot miss it. Very clean and very wonderful, strategically located. And we have very nice restaurants, beautiful food. The jollof rice that actually Nigeria and Ghana boast of is ours. So come here and taste the best of that. And you cannot just miss the beauty in this country.
What? Welcome to Kwaminat TV again. Today I'm here in the Gambia. I'm at the University of Gambia, and this is the law faculty. I'm here with a special someone that, if you travel to a country, you need to have someone to talk to. And the best person you talk to is your own colleague, like a YouTuber. And I'm here with Omar, Mr. Omar, Honourable.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Omar.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we are in Africa. We are Africans. When we travel, we talk to Africans. We want to showcase Africa to the next level, or we want to take Africa to the next level. You're a law student?
I'm a former law student.
You're a former law student, yeah, and mate, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Tell us a bit about Gambia. Just tell us.
All right, thank you so much. Special greetings to all those that are watching this very interesting interaction. Of course, my name is Omar and the Speaker of the National Youth Parliament, and I'm a poet as well. So the Gambia is the smiling coast of Africa. It is the most wonderful country that you can actually visit in terms of our beauty in the human beings, our beauty in our environment, though not all part of our environment, but we can always boast of our wonderful beaches, you know, the wonderful sunlight, the wonderful sun, and most importantly, the wonderful people and the wonderful young people that are doing great work as far as the country's advancement is concerned. So that is briefly what the Gambia is about.
What a Gambia is about.
Yes.
What a wonderful introduction about Gambia.
Thank you.
Brother, as you said, you are the youth speaker of parliament, isn't it?
Yes.
You being in the government, we don't deal with politics, but in the whole Africa, what do you think Africa is making a mistake by not getting together or not? Tell us a bit about, because you are in the politics, and what do you think Africans should do to become one, to progress, or to make Africa great?
Thank you so much. So fortunately, the National Youth Parliament is not even political. It's non-profit and also non-partisan youth organization that was established to raise the voice of young people. So it's basically a civil society organization. And that means we're not associated with politics, we're not associated with partisanship. So what Africa is doing wrong at this point is our inability to choose the right leaders. I think that has been one of our most fundamental mistakes that has been, done over and over, repeated over and over. We've not been able to find time to be honest ourselves and choose the right leaders that will lead our various countries. So we have mainly a problem of governance. And another problem that we have is that we do not value our young people as we are supposed to. Understanding that we have a continent where the majority of the population are young, but we do not bank on them. If you go to government departments, if you go to national assemblies, if you go to most of these government parastatals, all you will find is old people taking charge of the lives and welfares of the general populace. And this hampers our progress, because if you have the most resourceful part of your population neglected and isolated in the development causes, then it means there will be a big challenge in advancement. So these are just few. And our agricultural production as well is not as prioritized as we keep echoing, especially on our documents. You go to agricultural ministries, you find people that you have more PhD holders there, those that are very well versed as far as the academics is concerned in agriculture. And a lot of millions will come there, but at the end of the day, we do not see any output that we can be proud of as far as food self-sufficiency is concerned, as far as being able to grow what you eat is actually concerned. So I think it is a very complex situation of our country, and we keep on banking on the past a lot, even though I understand, for example, colonialism and slavery hampered a lot our progress, but we cannot continue to lean on that as an excuse for our development, because that has really been serving as a setback. It is definitely time for us to focus on the most current and ensure that the past that we can never change remains the past. We just learn from it and continue and move as one continent, collaborate, make sure that we honor trade agreements, free movement of our goods and services, ensure that we uplift all these visa restrictions. Imagine you're in Africa and you go to an African country, you're required to have a visa. So
that is the question that I want
absolutely,
to ask.
absolutely. Yeah. It's quite terrible. It's something that we must definitely change.
Yeah. And one thing I want to ask, you know, I want to make it brief. Well, I'm sure we're going to meet again. We're going to, because you need to show me a lot in Gambia. Yeah. You know, we have a lot of diasporans coming to Africa, not only Gambians, they are spreading all over, Ghana, wherever. I talk to a lot of them. And they are coming, they have seen something here coming. Okay, let me say diasporans are coming, which is African descendants, Chinese are coming, Indians are coming, mostly all over. Everyone is coming. Our youth are also going. What do you think they see in Africa we don't see?
So when you observe, the diasporians have established themselves more in their various locations because, well, we have a general belief that when you travel, you tend to have a better opportunity to make it. Even though I support youth empowerment, I support young people stay in their country to make it, but this is the reality and it's something that we must accept. What they see here is the fact that they have traveled, or they are descendants of Africa that have been living outside for a long time. They've got all the required resources to actually come back and invest. Yeah. So that has been one fundamental reason why they come back. They see an investment opportunity, and what we see is an investment opportunity outside in a different perspective, to invest in our capability as young people, either from the educational or employment perspective, which they have already achieved or acquired. That's why they come back. So even most of the time, people that have lost hope from here and traveled, when they get what they want, they usually will come back to invest. So that is to say, the opportunities that we have here are so limited to an extent that most young people don't find hope in their countries. So that is what pushes them to go. And the people that are already in the diaspora that have showcased and manifested that when you're there, you tend to have more opportunity to make it. So it's more or less like what they see here is somehow what we see there, but at a higher level.
At a higher level.
Yes.
But you see that the kids, the youth here don't see the opportunity that we have, or they think the opportunity is limited. Do you think it's the government fault, or the education system is twisting our mind? What do you think? What do you think about the education system? Because over there, they show you how to make money. Yeah. In here, they show you how to work for some people to become an employer.
Yes. I think the government has a role, of course, to play. So no matter what goes on in the country, the government is always the first to blame, because they're the ones that are charged with the welfares to take care, charged with the responsibility to take care of our welfares. But addition to that, of course, the education system is tailored in a way that it turns us into job seekers instead of job creators. And I can remember this formed a very fundamental team with the National Youth Parliament sitting, where we called for the reassessment of the education policy. Because what we discovered was the moment you're trained from from lower basic to high school and even to university level, you graduate, the first thing that comes to your mind is which institution am I applying to for a job? Instead of what jobs am I going to create? So it means we must revisit our education policy to ensure that we table it in such a way that skills, training would be actually very prioritized. There will be more STEM education. People that want to pursue these areas will be motivated enough to be able to ensure that the moment, even before graduation, they're already able to create jobs. So that once they graduate, they have the opportunity to not only create their jobs for themselves, but also for others. And one thing we must, yes, for other people. So one thing we must understand as well, no matter how many jobs, in fact, governments don't create jobs now. They just have to create the environment for people to create jobs. So if you build the environment for entrepreneurs to thrive, for businessmen and businesswomen to thrive, that means you're indirectly creating such jobs. For example, if you create the opportunity for 10 companies to be in existence, each 10 companies employing 10 people, that's already 100 employees. So that is the only way we can actually move as far as development is concerned, because at government level, the ministries, they have, let's say, limited spots. Parastatals have limited spots. So we have to create a thriving environment for entrepreneurs, for businessmen, for businesswomen, so that jobs could be created for themselves, but also for those that are not employed.
What advice will you give it to the youth who go through the back door to Europe? Let me say, you know what I'm talking about. Recently, what happened? Recently, what happened in I think, Morocco. They were shot and all sort of, and mostly those people, most of them from Africa, but mostly from we, the West Africans. What advice will you give to those youth, our young ladies that are traveling to Middle East to be enslaved, or they think they are going to look for something? What advice will you give it to those youth?
It's a terrible situation, actually, and it's a no-go area. That's my first word. It's a no-go area that young people migrate illegally or irregularly. Migration in general is a fundamental human right. So migration through the right way is, of course, unavoidable, like using a flight, applying for visa, and so on. But using the back way is a no-go area because first, you're risking your life. You're putting yourself to a test that most of the time you end up failing. It's either you die on the way, or you go up to where you're going to and you're kidnapped, brutalized, or turned into a slave. And sometimes they also abuse our sisters a lot. They come here, create a particular scenario to make it look like when they travel, this could even be through flight or by flight. When they travel, they're going to make their lives worthwhile, better, greener pasture and so on. And they go there, they turn them into slaves, domestic slaves, or sex slaves. So that is a no-go area. I understand the frustration that might occupy our dwelling in our various countries, limited opportunities, etc. But we must be able to be resilient against these factors and understand that it takes only collective effort and collaboration to change the status quo, but also by ensuring that ourselves we individually pursue our dreams. If you are not in university yet, try to be in university, get your papers, that will help. Acquire skills, that will also help. And then if you're able to travel by flight also, then that is advisable. So whatever that happens, then we understand that you've made effort to go through the right way. But if you use irregular migration, a lot of consequences follow. You can die, you can fall sick, you can brutalize, you can be imprisoned. Even whilst you're there and nothing happens to you, you find it difficult to acquire your papers because you're regarded as an irregular or illegal migrant. So these are things that we must avoid as young people. My advice is let us try by all means to be resilient. I know the situation can be frustrating, but that is why we are young people. We have to be able to build resilience and strengthen our capacities in order to advance as a country.
What can you tell people about Gambia for them to visit Gambia? They say Gambia is a smiling coast of Africa, so which we all love that.
Absolutely.
What are you going to tell people, or what do you think, or what can you convince the diaspora and those with them, as we talk about those who are coming here? There are still people who are not yesterday, which is yesterday evening, I was talking to a certain lady and she loved to come to Africa, but she's afraid. And people like you that have been as a youth speaker of whatever organization, at least you can tell the people what they can see here or what they are seeing here or what they can do here. What to tell them, to convince them to come.
Yes.
Because we still need them.
Okay, so by just saying the smiling coast, we know you definitely have to be here. Yes. By just being the smiling coast means you definitely have to be here. Like I said in the beginning, it is the home of the beautiful people. Like you come across anyone in the Gambia, they're smiling. Yeah. They are. We cannot say we're 100% happy, but somehow we are part of the happiest, most peaceful people as far as how we live is concerned. Very tolerant country. Also very diverse. Like it's very multicultural. You have different people from different sects. There are different people from every side of Africa that are in the Gambia. And our beaches are the best in Africa. You cannot miss it. Yes. Sure? Oh yes, I can bet on that. You cannot miss it. Very clean and very wonderful, strategically located. And we have very nice restaurants, beautiful food. The jollof rice that actually Nigeria and Ghana boast of is ours. So come here and taste the best of that. And you cannot just miss the beauty in this country.
What is the difference between the jollof rice and the benachin?
Benachin is jollof rice, so that's why I say it's ours.
Thank you very much, Omar.
Thank you so much.
It was nice talking to you.